Hi everyone, welcome to today's Piece of Peace. This morning I started off with a reminder of my mindset and how my mindset can affect just everything. I'd caught myself in a conversation with my husband, and in the middle of what I was calling an observation, which is just a fancy way or a denial kind of way of covering up maybe a critical thought or a judgment. And as I was about to speak it out loud, it was like the Lord caught me. And then it was like, nope, I can use my words to bless, or I can use my words to curse. I can use my words to bring life, or I can use my words to bring death. I'm capable of doing that, which is a really rough thing to realize. But as I was in mid speaking, it was like the Lord caught me. It's like, no, don't keep going down that path. Your mindset's off. So how do you bring life into this? And so I just changed my words immediately. And then just thank God for sort of guiding and showing me that, your mindset and your spoken words are so powerful on how they can guide your day and how they can bless or curse or give life or death. So as I was sitting contemplating my mindset this morning, like, how am I believing? Am I believing that I'm healthy? Is my mindset there? Am I speaking out loud things that bring life? Because our spoken word is so powerful. Because God, we're made in the image of God. His spoken word created, and our spoken word is powerful. So positivity, how does that change? If we have this negative thought and this negative mindset and everything's negative as we think throughout the day, then that's gonna bring negativity to you. That's going to create negativity around you, and that's going to bring death. So how do we come into a mindset of life? Mindset of life. Having a positive, hopeful, just outlook, what we allow ourselves to think about. And I'm finding that forgiveness is a big piece of having a positive mindset. Because if we're hanging on to this negative thought that's caused us bitterness, that is like toxic to us physically, at a cellular level, mentally, as we think and what we believe and our perceptions. Forgiveness is such a big piece of being in freedom and walking in life and having a positive mindset and being healthy and relieving stress. Carrying on to that causes a lot of tension, and to let that go and offer forgiveness brings us into a serious place of peace. So I'm contemplating all this stuff. And where's my mindset this morning? So it led me to, what was I thankful for? So this morning I started to ponder about last night. And last night I was with my youngest son, who's the only one left in my house. Poor him, because it's just my husband and I. So he brings his friends here, his girlfriend in particular, and because it's less painful than being with us alone. So we sat together. We were trying a new foodie thing, but it was kind of an epic fail. We didn't quite figure it out, but we started to play some cards. And my gratitude, my thought pattern went to just having my son, who lives in Australia. We pulled him up on a video chat and propped him up at the end of the table, and the rest of us were surrounding the table, and he was teaching us a new card game and sat with us as we were playing with it and laughed, and I thought to myself, what a privilege, what a gift, what a heart of gratitude I had that I actually got to see my son, interact with my son, play a card game around a table with him. Where most people whose children maybe have moved across the world would wait for a letter or in hopes of hearing how they were. And I can just dial him up and see his face and pray for him daily and have that interaction with him, though he's not here My heart was filled with gratitude. It was so joyful. We were laughing so hard around the table, and it was just a time filled with great, great joy. And I was pondering that and thanking God for that this morning. And thankfulness, a positive mindset, having a thankful heart, realizing what we have and what we have to be thankful for can bring incredible amounts of peace to us. And as that brought me into the devotion today, we're in Deuteronomy 4. And just the thankfulness that the Israelites had to have the living God be the God who was guiding them. And we're going to start this is set it up. Moses is talking to the Israelites. They're about to cross into the promised land. They've been in the desert for 40 years. And they're realizing that this God that they're following is unique. And he's alive. And he's a living God and directs them. So we start off in 5. See, and this is Moses speaking, see, I have taught you decrees and laws as the Lord my God commanded me, so that you may follow them in the land you are entering to take possession of. Observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding to the nations, who will hear about all these decrees and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. That what other nation is so great as to have their gods near? What other nation is so great as to have their gods near them the way the Lord our God is near us whenever we pray? Whenever we pray to him. That we can have the living God right beside us. That we can have the living God inside of us. That we can have the living God guide us. This is an incredible gift. One of great thankfulness. So we're reading our devotion out of Our Daily Bread. Download the app or get online and order these little booklets to come to your house. So the devotion is written by Sheridan Yoisei, and he titles it Right Beside You. Each day at a post office in Jerusalem, workers sort through piles of undelivered letters in an attempt to guide each to its recipient. Many end up in a special box labeled Letters to God, Simply to God, or Jesus. 1,000 such letters reach Jerusalem each year, addressed simply to God or Jesus. Puzzled by what to do with them, one worker began taking the letters to Jerusalem's western wall to have them placed between its stone blocks with the other written prayers. Most of the letters asked for a job, a spouse, a good health. Some requested forgiveness. Others just offered thanks. One man asked God if his deceased wife could appear in his dreams because he longed to see her again. Each sender believed God would listen if only he could be reached. The Israelites learned much as they journeyed through the wilderness. One lesson was that their God wasn't like other gods known at that time, or even now. These other gods were distant, deaf, geographically bound, reached only by a lengthy pilgrimage or international mail. No, the Lord our God is near us when we pray with him. He's near us. He's alive. What other people could claim that? This was revolutionary news. God doesn't live in Jerusalem only. He's close to us, wherever we are. Some still need to discover this radical truth. If only each of those letters could be sent a reply. God is right beside you. Just talk to him. God is right beside you. Just talk to him. God's accessibility to us is a profound gift. How can we avoid taking it for granted? How can you avoid taking it for granted? Who in your life needs to know of God's readiness to hear their prayer? It's a profound gift. He says a prayer, God, you are bigger than the universe, yet closer than a breath. Thank you for being so interested in us, attending to every prayer. That was out of our daily bread, which brings us into Jesus Calling, which I call our dessert. My foodie experiments last night weren't working, so this dessert's pretty good. And again, his words to us. Let me teach you thankfulness. Amazing, huh? Begin by acknowledging that everything, all your possessions, and all that you are belong to me. The dawning of each new day is a gift from me, not to be taken for granted. The earth is vibrantly alive with my blessings, giving vivid testimony to my presence. If you slow down your pace of life, you can find me anywhere. Some of my most precious children have been laid aside in sick beds or shut away in prisons. Others have voluntarily learned the discipline of spending time alone with me. The secret of being thankful is learning to see everything from my perspective, not our perspectives. My world is your classroom. That's awesome. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. That's our piece of peace for today. Blessings.